All right, today we're installing this 48-volt lithium battery into our 2008 Club Car Precedent. This battery is from O-Cell Tech. It's a 48-volt, 105 amp hour battery. Pretty nice pack, actually. It's about 26 inches long and about 13 inches deep. I think also about 12 inches tall. But some of the nice features this battery comes with is has these terminal caps. Pretty hefty post on the side here. Vent. You got an on-off button here, so you can actually kill the battery directly from the battery pack. And there's a COM port so that you can connect to the gauge and monitor all the stats from the BMS, which is really, really nice. So this is going to go into our 2008 Club Car Precedent. Let me show you a little bit about the prep work we've done in the battery bay to get this ready to install. Very nice battery. I think the pros and cons. So pros are much lighter weight, much more reliable power, and no more acid drips from the cart. So if you keep it in a garage like I do, you won't have to worry about the cart messing up your floor. Some of the cons, just a little more expensive than your traditional lead acid batteries, but they do last a lot longer. So overall, a lot of upside to going lithium in your cart. And if you're at a point where you're going to replace your lead acid batteries anyway, I would recommend go ahead and go in lithium from the jump. Save yourself the hassle of replacing those lead acid batteries constantly. So let me show you the battery bay and some of the prep work we've done to get this install ready to go. All right, so here's the battery bay of the Precedent, and a couple of things that I've gone ahead and done to prepare the installation of this battery is down here in the center. I've shaved this down because there's a divider here for the lead acid battery, so I shaved that down with a hacksaw to make space. I've also gone ahead and installed these two rails on the sides so that the battery is elevated over all this molding that's in the bay. And these are just a 2-inch channel aluminum, and I bolted them down using rib nuts, which is really nice. Makes it look pretty clean install, and it's nice that you can remove it and it looks basically normal. I've also gone ahead and disconnected the battery charger port at the front because I won't be using that anymore, and I'll show you the charger in a moment. And then I went ahead and installed some rib nuts here on the side because I'm going to be installing the charger for the lithium battery right onto the wall here so that the charger can be on board and I can charge it anywhere I go. So that's kind of what we have set up. We also replaced the ring terminals on the cables so those can fit over the new post on the new battery because they're a little bit larger than the standard lead acid batteries. And that's pretty much it. That's all you have to do really to get ready. Technically with this battery, you don't even have to do this prep work. The mounting you'll have to do, but the charging disconnecting you don't have to do because you can actually set up the charger external and just use the existing charging port, but I wanted the battery charger to be internal. So let me show you that charger. So the battery came with this charger, which has a handle on it originally, but I removed it. And then it also has this Precedent connector right on it, but I didn't want to use that because I'm going onboard charging. So I just went ahead and clipped off the little pins and then just added ring terminal so I can wire it directly to the battery, which is kind of nice. So that's all ready to go. So we can go ahead and start bolting all this into the cart and wiring it up, and I'll show you how that all goes along. right, so there we go. We have our battery mounted down, charger mounted, everything's wired up. We have our charging cable here. So for the time being, we'll just run an extension cord inside the cart under the seat, and that's how we'll plug it in to charge. In the future, I will be replacing the charge port with a 110 volt charge port. And then the only thing we have left to do now is install our gauge on the dashboard. All right, to install the digital screen, all you have to do is run this cable here from the battery COM port right up to the front of the dashboard. So to run it, we went right around the battery into this opening here. And then once you get into that opening, you can pull this cover forward by removing the bolts that are underneath the mat. In order to pull up the mat, all you have to do is take these two screws out and you can roll the mat back. And then there's a channel right in here. There's a channel right down here that you can run the wire through, and it's gonna pop up right here behind your dash. So you can see here is where the cable is. Once you have the cable run on the dashboard here, there's a T15 right up on top and two T30s that are on both ends of the dash. When you pull those out, you can pull the dashboard down, you can disconnect here, and you can remove it and put it on your workbench if you need to work on it. What I did is I turned this around backwards because it was facing this direction. So I take these two screws out and turned it this way to give me space. And then all you have to do is cut out a little space here on the dash for you to be able to mount the screen. Once you mount that screen, you can plug in the cable and you can put the dash back. But before you do that, you do have to notch out here this little support area. So all I did was use a razor blade and I just cut out right across from this little notch. Right across that way, I made a mark, and I made a mark here to measure out the width of the screen. Once you notch that out, you can pull this piece out. You don't have to go all the way back because the screen's not that deep. And once you notch it out, you can just reinstall the dashboard by lining up all those clips and pop it right back into place. Then you put your screws back in and you're good to go. And there's the screen installed. All right, here's our battery monitor. You can see we're at 90% charge. You have some other information, including there's 94 amp hours in the battery right now. And then the third page shows you the status of every cell according to the BMS. So pretty good amount of information on this screen. And it's completely touchscreen, or you can hit the power button to cycle through the different pages.